record. Okay, so this was just random. It came to me, and usually when something comes to me, I feel like it's for a reason and it's going to be helpful. So we had a Minnesota mastermind this past weekend, and we talked about like just filling out your calendar, like what you're going to post. Attraction marketing is a huge part of this business, and I realized that not a lot of people know what that means or what they're really doing. There's some people that just seem like naturals. Like they just sign on and they're like posting machines. Like I'm looking at their page going, dang, that was good, you know? But that's not the case for everybody. So what I wanted to do was just kind of break it down. Get you some ideas for content to where you can post. Remember, this business is a lot about being someone of inspiration. And that can feel like a lot of pressure. Like, well, I don't feel inspiring. I don't feel like I have much value to offer. But you do, because people follow people who are taking action. People follow people who are changing. So if you do any of these things that we're going to go over, am I still there? I just got a weird pop-up. If you want to keep this meeting open, please assign another host before you cancel. Am I still here? That was weird. Okay. I have no idea where I was, because if I get derailed, I am derailed. So I'm just going to jump back in. If you are doing any of these things that we're going to go over tonight, that means you're taking action. And I'm going to follow you because you're doing something different than you did yesterday. And that, to me, is inspiring. Remember, we all have a story. We all have a platform to reach somebody else who is going through similar trials and struggles in life. Or they just like you because you're fun and their life's good and they just want to have more fun. You know, that, I mean, it doesn't have to be super deep and sad all the time. But I don't know if you guys saw my post today. Super vulnerable post. Who saw it? Share, raise a hand. Okay. Signed 2 coaches from that. I was kind of reluctant to share it only because here's the deal. I'm going to be super real with you. I knew that I was going to get hundreds of messages. And that is kind of part of what got me there in the first place. Not having enough to give, right? Giving so much of myself that I have a hard time filling myself back up. There just isn't enough time in the day to talk to as many people as I want to and that need me and things like that. So I was reluctant to post because I knew it was going to speak to a lot of people, and it did. It's so sad to see how many people are struggling, right? So that's a whole different topic and a whole different call. But if I can tell you anything going to this business is you're going to have to safeguard yourself. Write that down. Safeguard myself somehow, whether it's limiting the amount of time you spend replying to messages or limiting the amount of you that you give away, because it's going to matter in the long run. And it's like, I need to share so many things with you guys about how not to build this business because I did it wrong in the beginning. And it left me feeling, I guess, sick. You know, I went so all in and I got obsessed and I didn't sleep. And people asked me, well, would you do anything differently? And yes, I would, because even if it were a prolonged success, I always say, what is all the money and success in the world if you are sick or dead, right? Okay, so that got deep quick. Leave it to me. But basically what I'm saying is there is a balance, and it's our job to figure out what it is. This business doesn't sleep, but I need you to sleep. Sleep ranks right up there with oxygen, food, water, okay? It's important. Don't forget about that. So as excited as we are, and I was there, where you're so excited and you get in bed and then something, you know, your wheels are turning because I'm about to build this business so big, and you jump up and you just start working. And next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and you didn't sleep. So let's just be mindful, write it all down and say, I'm going to do that when I'm working tomorrow, and then do that. Okay. I think that you will find more bliss in the long run if you put some parameters on things. Okay. So that being said, there's going to be some takeaways because you won't have time to brainstorm all of this on the call. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I want you to do after the call. So you're going to write down your to-dos, but we're going to go ahead and fill out our calendar together. But you're going to have to refer back to your to-dos in order to be able to do it. And that should make sense in here in a minute. Okay. So attraction marketing is basically just sharing a whole bunch of what you got going on in your life in hopes that it's going to inspire a whole bunch of other people to join you. Okay? So what typically happens with that is when you share a moment of distress and what you did differently and now the current outcome. That is something that people will relate to. Oh my gosh, I felt that way. So perhaps if I implemented this, then I can improve my situation. So things that we're going to start with. Here, write this down. List 10 positives Beachbody has given you. You don't have to list them now. This is your homework. But list 10 improvements of life, 10 things that have been better in your life since you became a coach or since you started using Beachbody products or either one, a challenger or a coach. It doesn't matter. When did Beachbody come into your life? What are 10 positive things that have happened because of that? And what I want you to understand is that each one of those on your list is a post. Okay? And you could even get a couple of posts out of each one if you do it differently. So what we did at the meeting that was so awesome was I had somebody, I'd say, does anybody want to share one? And they did, and I kind of did like a little mock post. So would anybody like to unmute themselves and share one of their positives? Okay.
I have a good one.
Okay, good.
Yay. Hi, I'm at the park with my dog. It's pretty exciting if you see my background.
I don't. You must be on one of the other pages.
That's okay. So one of mine is that it's brought my sister and I like so close. We're like best friends now. And we used to like torment each other growing up, got to where, okay, we get along now, but now we're in this business together and we're like every day inspiring the other to keep pushing. It's kind of weird. Like it's a good weird.
Okay, that's awesome because I can 100% make a post out of that because I can relate to that. Because now my sister and I have that. We grew up not getting along. We were very close in age. And Beachbody has now brought us together. So I would say something like, wow, I'm going to get so real with you guys because you're talking to your network like they're your best friend. You want your people that are following you to feel like you're talking right to them. Okay? The one message I get the most often is thank you for being real. And it's because I talk to my people like they're my sister. Okay. So I'm about to get so real with you guys. It's just kind of like something on my heart. I just wanted to share like what an incredible life transformation that's happened. My sister and I, we grew up not getting along. We grew up, we didn't like each other. She was this way, I was this way. Okay, you fill in all your details. And the craziest thing, I don't know why, but we both started on this Beachbody journey. And with Beachbody, you're asked to read personal development and grow and work on your weaknesses and develop your strengths. And we found out that we actually have more common ground than we knew. And now because of coming together and working together on such a positive level and helping other people, we now have rekindled our relationship. And I cannot even tell you in words how much that means. I love seeing her grow. I love seeing her create a life of freedom. I love, and that's what you're going to do. That's how you speak to your past, what you implemented, and now what it is. And, that's not saying, okay, now all the people that have sisters are going to come rolling in, but it may speak to one person. It may speak to somebody who's in that similar situation. And now they're going to say, all right, I'm going to keep following this and following her because we've got something in common. I mean, that's just taking one example.
Yeah.
So do you guys see what I'm talking about here? Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks.
Okay, so who can look at their list and go, all right, I can start making some posts here, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's see, starting tomorrow, which is Wednesday, but I said starting today, and maybe it's probably too late. That's kind of another thing, that timing kind of matters. You don't want to put an awesome post up at 9 or 10 p.m. It may get buried by dayfall tomorrow. So brainstorm a post. A lot of times I write it out in my notes when I'm feeling inspired, and then I post it the next day. So tomorrow, write post 1 from my 10. And that's how I'm going to say, craft a post from one of my 10 positives, and you post it tomorrow, Wednesday.
Directly with Maria. So Maria, go ahead and drop us the chat your email address. We will be reaching out to you, Kate, and I'll take you that $100 in from gift card. So
you don't again. All right. Okay, so another little thing that you're going to write down on your to-do list is 20 people that you want to work with. That one can be uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, there is power with writing it down. If there are some people out there, you're like, I just really would like to work with them. And I'm not saying profile, like, man, they would be great at this, because we don't know. Sometimes we think somebody would be great at it and they're not. Okay. But who would you really like to work with? I don't know if you saw the video I posted right before the call started, but I want you to go back and revisit it and post it in DFG. And that may give you some guidelines of how you'll reach out to somebody. This could be uncomfortable. This could be a time when people leave. They think that you just want them in your pyramid scheme, okay? But I need you to trust the process, because I reached out in all the wrong ways in the beginning, and it wasn't from the heart. It was a script that I sent to everybody. That's the wrong way there. And it still landed me with some awesome coaches 3 years later. They didn't buy into it in the beginning, but they continued to watch me not give up, because that's what a lot of people are waiting to see if you quit. But they can continue to watch me grow my business, and then they reached out because I planted a seed with that original message, and I watered it with every post thereafter. And even if it took 3 years for it to grow, it grew, and it grew into diamonds, okay? So that is, to me, there's really no wrong way. Craig Holliday says you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Some people are meant to be in your business. Some people are not. Just be okay with that. Okay, so write down those 20 people. Go and watch that video to gather some insights of how I would reach out to people. It'd probably look way different for a dude. And speak from the heart. When I say I'm building a family, when I say I'm building a team, when I say I'm building a tribe, that matters to me. The people I bring into this matter to me. And when you go at somebody like that, like, I really feel like this business blesses the lives of those who come in it, and I want you to be blessed. How could someone take that wrong? Right? So you may get a little uncomfortable, because tomorrow on your to-do list, on your calendar, in tomorrow's block, you're also going to write message to people from that list. And what I would love for you to do is post in DFG how it went, or your respective, if you're in a smaller team group, you can post in either. I'm fine with that. But like, okay, this is what I said. This is how it went. I had a girl in my PS group do that last night, because I told them to do this last night. And she did it immediately, and she started sharing her responses, and I got so energized because she was getting fantastic feedback. And it's like, okay, why'd you wait so long, right? So we're not going to wait. We're just going to go all in. Everything's a day off now, so this could prove to be a problem here. All right. Another to-do list that you're going to, or another to-do that you're going to add to your list that you'll do as homework is 10 cool goals Beachbody will bridge you to. I ask you to do this because I reached my goals because I planned them out and I proclaimed them. It wasn't like I just reached all these amazing goals and then talked about them. I talked about what I was going to do. That did a few things. I wrote it down, which gave it power. I spoke it out, which gave it power. And it gave me accountability because I'm like, I said I'm going to do it. I better do it. Right? So just knowing what you are going to do and sharing that just really propels it into manifestation, if you want to say that. It really just gets things going. Okay? So have these goals and talk about them. Be proud of them. So I have let's just go ahead and throw that on Thursday. One goal that Beachbody is going to bridge you to. Share one of the 10. Message 2 on your list and post a workout picture. Okay, so in Beachbody, you have to have some presence on social media. If you want to build a business on social media, you got to have presence. You got to post 2 to 3 times a day. And I know like a lot of people are like, I work, or, I don't have content, which is why we're doing this, because you have content and you cannot post your fitness enough. I need to stress that to you. You cannot post your fitness enough. You're branding yourself as someone who helps other people in health and fitness. People need to see you doing it. Melanie Meachar, I always use her because she was so consistent with posting her fitness every single day at 5 a.m. I mean, people looked for it. They sought it out. When it wasn't there, they wondered if she was okay. It's a good thing. So you can't post enough. Could you invite to your team too much? Probably. Yeah, you want to sprinkle that in. But I do not think that you can post motivation or fitness enough. Okay? Last thing I have that you're going to use as a guideline for your posting is, what are you looking for in a coach? Write that down because you're going to list that out as well. Because this makes really great posts. This makes really straightforward posts like, here's what I'm looking for. I always say you're not going to get it unless you ask for it. So when someone says, I have challengers out the wahoo, but I need coaches. And I look at their Facebook and all they've talked about is their challenge group and their fitness. They never did a coach invite. So you could possibly do what you're looking for in a coach and wrap that into a sneak peek invite or I have a new coach training starting on Monday, and that could be an invite. And as with everything, you want to share how Beachbody has enhanced your life when you are doing an invite, because you want to share why you're passionate about it. I know that it was my passion and excitement that got me to where I am in business when I first started, because it certainly wasn't my skill. I didn't make cute images. I didn't have all those little things, those little extras, that little skill set that you will refine as you grow this business. I was just excited. I thought building my team was the funnest part. And when it becomes more fun and less scary, I think that's when it's going to take off for you. You can't be scared to ask your friends and family and network to join you in something awesome. You got to be excited and proud and confident with it. And confidence does come from having some successes. When you get one person that says yes, you're like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Okay, your head's spinning. You're like, they said yes. That's a good feeling. Harness it and do it all over again. People want to join you. And I do say this too. It's like, people are going to join Beachbody. Let it be with you. If you don't ask them, someone else will. How horrifying is it when you find out your cousin joined with someone else? Or that your neighbor is a coach not on your team? Did you ever ask them? Right? And it doesn't have to be a personal invite. I post in a way that I don't have to do personal invites anymore. And I struggle with whether or not I should say that, but it took me a while to brand myself. I've branded myself as a Beachbody coach, a top Beachbody coach, somebody who's not, I'm a lifer, okay? I branded myself as that So I can post, and then people will say, I followed you for years and now I'm ready. And that post I did today, that is sealed the deal for a lot of people. A lot of times people say, I've been looking for a coach to go with, somebody I really resonated with. That post you did today, that was enough for me. And I'm thinking, really? I just shared like what a train wreck I am. You don't have to be perfect. You got to be relatable. You got to speak to people's heart. So you can't share just the great things. You got to share some of the bad things too. But as always, you got to end it with an uplifting something. Like, how are you dealing with it? Are you giving up? I mean, it's not just a post of despair. It's about struggle and hope. Struggle and conquering, you know? Okay. So I have written down that Thursday is a sneak peek, and it is. So we got to filter in a sneak peek invite. So if you can somehow tomorrow, I know your little squares are probably filling up. But like I said, I wrote this last night, so it's a little off. But I am hosting a sneak peek on come Thursday because I've got some goals to meet by Wednesday night of next week. So I need some people to sign some coaches. So if you want to get in on that, start inviting. You got to post something like what joy you found. Take one of your 10 positives and post what awesomeness has happened just in the mere week or two or month that you've been, and you would love to give that feeling to someone else. If anybody has an entrepreneurial side, if anybody has a love of health and fitness, or has a desire to do something a little different and think outside the box, there is a no pressure little group going on that can answer some of your questions. If you've seen me posting about Beachbody and you somewhat intrigued, jump in. What could it hurt? And then that's 5 days of posts being shared that, you know, talk about Beachbody. And the people are either going to feel it or they're not, and either one's fine, right? So that's going to be Thursday. I'm going to be honest, I will be, I don't think many things through, but I will be out of town with no cell service, but my mom is going to be, or no Wi-Fi, and my mom is going to be putting all those in. Buffer style. She's going to be posting those things for me. So I won't be able to give a whole lot of feedback, but that's where you guys come in, okay? Take care of your coaches. It's not a group led by me that I can answer everything. It's just a group for all of us to take advantage of. But just be there for your coaches, okay? Or your prospects, people that are going to be your coaches. Thursday, also a great time to shout out somebody on your team. Just go ahead and write Thursdays all across. Coach shout out. Coach shout out, coach shout out. It doesn't have to be somebody who rank advanced or had their highest week. It could just be somebody who really took they went out on a limb. They joined your team and you're so dang proud of them. Any chance that you can highlight your team, the better, because that's speaking to a whole lot of people that haven't joined you yet and go, man, when was the last time somebody gave me a shout out? My birthday last year, I got a few, but just a random Thursday, and she's getting highlighted, and people are liking it. Okay, so that's nice. That's just coming to me. I don't do that. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to do that with you. All right. Do you have something in Wednesday and Thursday's box? I love how you guys you love me no matter what. I thank you for that. Okay, so I have on Friday to craft a post from another one of your 10 positives. To me, you cannot be too positive. To me, you cannot be too happy. You will hear that from people, but it's speaking to their inner unhappiness, and that makes them feel uncomfortable. But if you speak to their inner unhappiness enough, they eventually want to be around you more because you make them want to be happy like you. So there's this kind of this uncomfortable transitional area where they don't feel good when they're around you because they're just feeling their inside sad. Does that make sense? But they want to feel like you. They want to be happy like you. So they're going to hang around. Even though you make them feel bad, eventually you make them feel good. And they want what you got. That is a huge part of our business. And as horrible as it sounds when you say it out loud, you want people to want to lead a life that you lead. You want people to live that life. I say it all the time. There's not many people that have as much fun as a Beachbody coach. When you're involved, when you're engaged, when you're earning the trips and going to the trips, when you're going to the events, not many people have that much fun in their normal job. So I have always wanted everyone to go all in so you could fully experience Beachbody. And every single person I see on this screen, and I can only see a fourth of you, it can be you. It will be you. Or you wouldn't be on this call right now. Okay? So craft a post. And if you need help, and I can't say that I can help you on every post, but if you're saying, I really want to get this across, don't feel like it's landing. Like, you can post in DFG or your respective coach group, like, how does this sound? You can get some feedback. Because I'll be honest with people, you're too wordy, or you're making it sound like a drill sergeant. You know what I mean? Like, I will give you some feedback, but you got to be okay with it. Gina says you're overthinking it. Most often when you share your heart, your real feelings, it's right. It's just right. So don't overthink it. And a lot of times I'll see people apologize for their post before they start. And right there, I'm shut off. You apologize for what you're about to say before you say it. I don't want to read that. Don't apologize for posting too much. I saw during Summit, okay, my last post, I know I've been killing you with pictures. No, don't apologize for that. That's what you want. People are looking, going, wow, they're having fun. Okay, so you don't apologize for your post ever. Another fitness photo, but I'm just really excited about my abs coming in. No buts.
Go.
Right?
Come in, Bubby. Go. You want to sit up here, Mommy? Come here.
I love you guys. All right. The weekends, I kind of take off. I do family. I do fun. I may use Shakeology at that time because I like posting about Shakeology. I'm proud of that shake. And I know a lot of people are scared to do it. And I ask you, please don't post a picture of just the bag. If the bag's in the background, fine. If the bag's in the frame, fine. But a bag doesn't move me. But your face does. Your smile does. Your kids drinking the shake does. You know what I'm saying? There is a way to post that attracts more people. And there's a way to post that makes people go, bag of plastic. Means nothing to me. But your smiling face does. Okay, so if you're going, I've got that on my wall, it's okay. We all made the mistake. I know that I did Google stock images in the beginning. I took them straight from the Beachbody website. It's Beachbody's job to market the products. It's your job to market yourself using the products. That was good. I did not plan on saying that. I like when I do that. Makes me feel good about myself. Beachbody's job to market the products. Gotta take notes. Smart people take notes. Message 2 of your people. Basically, you're gonna message 2 people every day until your list is done. But side note, your list really should never be done. You gotta be adding to it all the time. Something I was gonna mention. It's on my notes. If you are struggling with getting likes and comments, they just ain't there. Okay, I need you to know, if you go back to 2011, 2012 of my business, there were no likes. If you go back to 2009, 10 of Lindsay Matway's business, there were no likes. Okay, that grows with time. But if you've been consistently posting for 4 or 5, 6, 7 months and your likes aren't growing, post a little video. That's scary in itself, but that's good because people get to see your quirky personality. Post a video because you get to see how many people are actually seeing your stuff. Okay? And that may answer some questions because if not many people are seeing your stuff, you're not reaching anybody. That could mean a few things. You need to add to your network. Are you still speaking to the same 200, 300, 400 people? Or are you being what we are, which is a networker, a friend maker, and adding people to your list, which has always been my pain point. I honestly don't know where they come from. I had a hard time adding people to my Facebook page in the beginning. But now they come because I think that I have created what is called big momentum, and that happens when you are all in for a certain amount of time. with enough energy and enough passion, enough belief, you activate momentum. The only way you keep up momentum is if you keep up with your business. Continuing to post, continuing to invite. The only way you're going to get people into this thing with you is if you invite them. You just simply can't invite. You just can't not invite. Like I said last night, I think it was in, I don't know, it could have been all the groups, but it's like, are you waiting for your business to build itself? Are you waiting for people to come to you? That's not going to happen unless they're seeing things from you that are attracting them to you. And that comes 100% from your posting. Monday, I don't post anything Beachbody on Sundays. I really don't even post on Sundays. I do my best to unplug on the weekends. And I would probably recommend everyone do that. Monday, message 2 people from your list. If you're on the national wake-up call, post something that you heard that resonated. It doesn't have to make sense to your network. Something that you heard that resonated with you, talk about it. It doesn't matter if half the people don't get it. Somebody probably will. That's the power of sharing, like, your story, your emotions, your thoughts is like, there's no original thoughts left in this world. I'm convinced of it. But when you share something of yours, you have somebody that goes, man, I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that. You know how many times I heard that today? Over 100. I needed to hear what you had to say today. Thank you. Fills your cup. I also have on Monday to post a goal that you are excited about. That may be the first time I actually had it written down, so you can play around with that. But pull from your list. What are you excited about? Why are you excited about it? What kind of feelings do you have when you think about reaching that goal? Like today's post about that house. Guys, we put in an offer. We have absolutely no idea if we're going to get the house or if it's going to be accepted or, but I already talked about how I can see Soren playing there. I can see us living there. I can see the dinners. I can see the friends coming over. I talked about it. It gave it power. Okay? So I may not know. And you best believe when we do get the house, I am going to give first all the glory to God, but then it would not have been possible without Beachbody. So it's going to be a huge Beachbody post, of course, because I would have never been able to get a house like that if it weren't for Beachbody. Or another way to make a ton of money. But do you guys know of any? I don't. Another way to make a ton of money? Winning the lottery, oil, or build a network marketing business, right? Wow, it's crazy. Tuesday, I have a Shakeology pick. I think sometimes we forget to post about Shakeology. I do, because it's like I've been drinking it for so long. It's second nature. I drink it, and I'm like, dang, I drank it so quick, I forgot to talk about it. And then there's just something not as moving about an empty Shakeology glass as it is a full one. It just kind of looks gross, right? I've done it before. Or you make a whole nother one, take a picture, and then you give it to somebody. Done that before, too. But I need people to know that I've been still drinking it for 4 years. I did a little scan through my Instagram today just because someone said, I just went through your Instagram and it looked so fun. Oh, Brandy, she's on the call. Your life looks so fun. Thanks. Sometimes it doesn't feel that fun. But, you share what you're doing, and sometimes it looks fun. It doesn't always feel it. But I stumbled upon a picture of me laughing hysterically with my shake. And I say, yup, 4 years going strong. People ask me if I was going to drink this shake forever. And my answer was then, and it still is, heck yeah. Not only is it so good for me, it tastes great. Oh, and a little comic relief I put in there. That's when they probably thought I just wanted their money. That's funny, okay? Because that spoke to all those people that think that you just want their money. I didn't want their money. I wanted them to put superfoods in their body because I know that they're powerful. Okay, so I like to be silly with my stuff because it doesn't seem so scary. You're either going to like it or you're not. They'll like me or they won't. But I think when you can just kind of be real, it's relatable. Tuesday, workout pick. Why not? We need reminders, right? Tuesday, something from your challenge group. Okay, these are 3 different posts. 3 things that you can talk about. Something from your challenge group. One person that's had a small success. It doesn't have to be huge. One person that had a non-scale victory. One person that said, thank you, you've changed my life. Anything. If you're not in a challenge group, that's your first problem. I had a coach, and if she's on this call, I love ya. But I had a coach the other day say, I don't have any challengers. I have no one's doing this with me. No one signed as coach. No one's in my challenge group. Well, are you in a challenge group? No. How can you invite people to do something that you're not doing? If you are not in a challenge group, that's a big mistake. Be in somebody's. If you're not hosting your own, be in your coach's. You got to have something to share. You got to be able to pull from other people's victories. You got to be able to share about how awesome challenge groups are so people want to be in one. If you can share how the support and community of a challenge group is helping somebody, that's going to open up doors for other people to think that maybe it can help them. Does that make sense? Right? But sometimes these things, we forget about them. Okay, that's fine. It takes someone else from the outside looking in going, all right, sister, well, here's where you're first, where you need to fix that. You need to be in a challenge group. It kind of goes back to just like, you can't, when you're not posting, we're not feeling like we are doing anything in the business. It's hard to bring anybody in. And usually when you're feeling stuck and like nobody wants anything to do with it, you've gotten away from your 3 vital behaviors. Have you ever felt like that? I know I have. I'm like, well, duh, I haven't read in a week. I haven't worked out. Eating's been crap, like, no wonder. So when you start feeling like that, you just have to recommit yourself. I've recommitted a million times in my business. Are we on Wednesday the 19th? Yeah. All right. Take away from your personal development. I don't know if you guys do this, but you remember the other night in DFG, I posted, you get what you dwell on, so make sure it's good, whether it's good or bad or something. I had just listened to a podcast. It pumped me up. That was one of the 50 things that resonated with me, and it gave me content to give you guys. That is the same thing. Your personal development gives you content to share with your team and with your network. I always say, like, somebody needs to hear what you heard today. And in the beginning, when I was branding myself, I did that. I wanted people to feel good. I wanted people to be motivated to change their life because I knew that I had a way. So I shared what was changing mine with my people. And then they go, well, I could do that, or I want my life like that, or yeah, I can dream bigger, right? So you share those things. And if you have to remind yourself to share them, then write it down in your calendar. If reading Take Away from My PD helps you go pick up your book and read it, then this calendar is doing its job. It goes hand in hand. Oh, okay, I need to either read my book. Oh, okay, I need to post from what I read. It's good. This would be a great day to recap your fitness journey. How was it a year ago? What did you do? How is it now? I shared, I know in my PS group, I'm not sure if I shared it in DFG, but it was like somebody had like recapped their past 2 years in business or in their fitness journey. I'm like, wow, that was good. Like, who else could do that? P90X, date P90X, lost 4 pounds. Date 21-day fix, lost 10 pounds. Date Insanity or T25, lost this amount, and had pictures and everything. It was so moving. It's like, wow, Beachbody works. This whole thing works. The fitness, the nutrition, the support, it works. So when you post about your fitness journey, each time you do that, you water the seed of somebody who's going to be in your support group. So do it. What could it hurt? Thursday, another coach shout out. Share a goal you have. You're going to go back. You got to get off this call and you got to fill out these lists. You got to get that content there so you can pull from it. You'll be glad that you did. Workout pick. Simple enough. You see the trend? I mean, it's not anything crazy. I have on Friday, one of your 10 positives and a takeaway from PD. Saturday, family fun. I'm going to start breezing through because it's kind of repeat stuff. But just get something in your box so you feel like you have a game plan, an action plan. And if you have any good ideas of something to add, share them with us. Monday, I have takeaway from the NYC or NWC. NYC, that's funny. Can highlight a challenger this Monday. People are feeling motivated on Monday. Sluggish from the weekend. Ate too much crap, drank too much crap. All these people are posting never miss a Monday, right? Well, so-and-so didn't miss a Monday. She owned her workout and she's lost 10 pounds since she's been in my group. Everyone give a huge hand. And that's another thing, asking people to like celebrate a person. When people celebrate a person, they're just a challenger. Most likely, they're going to want to one day become a coach because they see that the community is so dang supportive. Makes them feel good. Tuesday, how has your life changed since Beachbody? I love those. You wanted to see somebody who's great at that? Go to Amy Silverman's page. Don't compare yourself to her. She's a phenomenal photographer, and she trained her husband to be a phenomenal photographer. She's got some really cool stuff. Do not compare yourself to her when you go to her page, but read some of her stuff, man. That's how she has over 100,000 followers combined. She's got great content. She's raw and real, and you know, she has a past with drugs. She used to, be in the hospitality industry. You know, she's made a complete turnaround in her life, and she's very open about it. And that's how she attracts so many people. It's not favorable. This business does not choose favorites. It's who is out there enough, who is visible enough, who's reaching more people. What's so funny about that is a lot of times people come in and say, well, they were supposed to be at the top. They were always meant for this. I'm probably going to be a mediocre coach. Anyone on this screen could be a top coach in this business, all of a sudden propelled to top 10 if that was a goal, strictly from how visible you become. And that comes from just sharing your heart, sharing your life, inviting, being excited. Honestly, there is no other secret. All right. Are we on Wednesday, the 26th? Share a goal you have. Man, we need more content.
Can I make a suggestion at all? One thing I like to do every now and then is post about something like a product or something else that's not necessarily Beachbody related. Like the one post that I did about when I found Facebook Groups app, and I was like, hey, you guys got to get that. I kind of like to do things like that, and then maybe kind of throw a little Beachbody in there, but just so it's not always like, hey, Beachbody, but hey, I like this too. Like, I'm trying to make your life better with Beachbody and other stuff. Like, generally trying to make your life better.
Absolutely. I guess I should have been more specific because this was just a Beachbody posting guide. I'm so sorry. This is in with your other thing.
Gotcha. Sorry.
I never said that. So that was a perfectly great caveat there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. I think when I'm looking at my week here and I'm going, man, that sure looks motivating. That looks positive. It doesn't have to be like when I'm sharing a goal I have, it doesn't mention anything about Beachbody. It's just me improving my life. Of course, you wrap Beachbody into there with your invites and things like that, but it does not have to, everything does not have to say Beachbody in it. But most of my goals are in the progression of me becoming better in some form, whether I've started a hobby or I'm making a priority to get quiet more, or, you know, it's a way to become better. And that's really what our entire, our mission statement for Beachbody is, helping people to live happier and healthy, more fulfilling lives. You know, so it's like, basically, I want to help people do that. And if I can share, I think that was Marianne. I couldn't see who was talking. That was my cousin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, cool. Any way you can add value, do it. I think we've talked about that before. Like, you found a way to store the avocado. I remember that was such a hard concept for me in the beginning. Like, how can you store an avocado? If you found the way, share it. You know, any way that you can share how you improved your life, you're doing good. If you don't hit every one of these suggestions here, that's okay. But this is a great guideline to how you can post. And it's kind of, I made a thing forever ago that was like a social media posting guide. I must feel pretty confident about that, because I know that not everyone sees all of your posts. I know that it takes posting some of the same things to drill it in. And that's kind of what this is kind of coming from. Okay. I like Thursdays. Something you've been able to do, pay, or give. I love those posts. When the back to school stuff, when did we talk about that? Back to school supplies for their kids. I have seen so many of those from Beachbody coaches. I always stressed back to school. I could never get my kids new clothes. Now we're at the store. We're getting supplies. We're getting clothes. We're happy. You know, thank you, Beachbody. Or, you know, it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the extra income, or, you know, anything that you've been able to do more of, pay more of, give away. Great posts. Something awesome your team is doing, I have for Friday. Like, anytime you get together, I love those too, because it shows community. Like, I have a little mastermind going on, just 3 of us girls talking, chatting. How fun. I love my new friends that I've met. I love the new like-minded people in my life. Before, I, you know, was surrounded by negativity. I was in the hospitality industry. It was cutthroat. Like, people weren't really looking out for you. They wanted your good shifts, right? Now, we love each other. We support each other. We're getting better together. You know, things just look so different now. I'm so thankful. You know, just any little light that you can shine. They don't all have to be super long posts too. Just any little 2-sentence, 3-sentence, smiling face picture. Great. Saturday, I have a hobby of yours. I have no idea why I wrote that, but when I see people active, when I see people building houses, stand-up paddleboarding, surfing, makes me want to know how they're doing that. How are they doing that? I want to do that. I want to have a little bit of that in my life. A Monday post idea. How you used to dread Mondays. This is probably going to be more for the people who are full-time Beachbody coaches, but you can maybe work with that. This could be where you could work into a goal that you're projecting out there about how you're one day no longer going to be working for so-and-so or the man. And you got to be careful, because you probably have some work on your Facebook, but some people don't. And they're able to say, I cannot wait until I am doing Beachbody full-time, or until I am out of the traffic, or I'm out of the hustle and bustle. When I was in recovery, I was told that 8 o'clock, your respective time zone, the most heart attacks in the morning, Monday morning, worldwide, because they had to go to work. The stress of going to work, the stress of the commute, the stress of being there, the stress of the daunting to-do list. Right? Who feels that in our business? I do. I gotta work on that. I know sometimes I'm out of balance, but the beauty is we get to work with that. We get to, okay, I'm not working today. Her whole business isn't going to fall apart. I'm out of balance. I'm taking a little bit of time off today. You know, I'm only going to do what I want to do off my to-do list. We have that freedom. Sometimes we don't allow ourselves to remember that we do, but we do. The last thing I have, it's probably on the 1st of the next month. What you're looking forward to. So I just kind of covered that. But do you get the idea? This is exactly what I did to build my business. And if you ever are curious, go back to 2012. What I do now looks a little different than what you'll do. What someone who's been a coach for 2-3 years, it's going to look a little different. But if you ever are curious, go back to when I was building. Man, I was on fire. I look back and I'm like, man, I posted good. Man, I was inspiring. I did. I was like, man, no wonder people joined me. And it's okay to pat yourself on the back like that. If you've ever been in the 7-day jump start, I highlighted just a few. I copy and pasted a whole bunch of URLs to a lot of my posts. If you're in the 7-day jump start, pay attention to that day. Click through some of those links. If you're not in the 7-day jump start, if you've never been through one, ask your coach to put you in one. If you just need that day, ask your Diamond Upline to grab it from our Diamond group. Because it's just honestly, the longest post in the world, but it's a bunch of links to a bunch of my posts of how I attracted people into my business by posting. It's a posting game. It's a sharing game. Now, who would agree? Does anyone have anything to say to that? Think about why you joined your coach. What did you see, do, or were told or hear? And a lot of times,
Linz, I have it pulled up. Do you want me to copy and paste it into chat?
That, or maybe we can make a file in DFG.
I can put a file in DFG real quick. I already have it copied and pasted.
You're awesome. I don't know. Okay, maybe that chat would work for that people. If you guys can access that chat well enough. Yeah, I don't know if you're mobile, if you can or not. I have in my notes section of my calendar, as much as you can shine a positive light on Beachbody, do it. Our job is to motivate others to want change, to be a positive light. You got to remember that not everybody's feed is filled with Beachbody coaches. Sometimes we forget that because ours are, but not everybody's are. And sometimes you're the only positive thing that people saw. We are wanting to inspire others and can't share workout enough. Okay, yeah, that's what I got. Let's see. Not getting much attention, post a video, see how many views you're getting. Perhaps you need to increase your Facebook affinity. Perhaps you need to add to your network. Self-evaluate. Do this often. I do. I go back and I run through, like I did my Instagram today. What would people get if they did a quick scan? Do that to your Facebook. You got to check every now and then. Sometimes you forget that, or sometimes I forget to add value. And I got to go back and do that. I got to remember. Add some value today. What do I tell my coaches to do? Sometimes people say, I don't know how to get my coaches to get to Diamond. I don't know how to tell my coaches to build their business. Tell them to do what you do. That is the only thing that you can do, is tell them to do what you did and what you do. There's no, you do it this way, I do it this way. It's all the same stuff. It is just sharing and inviting. Honestly. What do we need to build a strong business? People. We need people to trust us. We need people to relate to us. And we need people to want what we have. Okay, that's really all I have. Right on time, 8:55. So I want you to get off the call and get your 20 people, the 10 positives, the 10 cool goals, and you're not going to craft all your posts tonight, but set aside some time. When you're feeling inspired, if it's not in the middle of family time, go ahead and write some posts. I know I did that. Like a post came to me, I went to my notes section. Perhaps it wasn't time to post. Perhaps I had met my posting quota for the day. And I would just have it in like a little arsenal so I could pull it out when I needed something. If you're ever feeling inspired, that happens, right? When your brain's just going, you're feeling good. Just log some posts. Does anyone have any questions?
You said something about, and I remember seeing it from you, about the post with the pictures, and then it had like the breakdown of how long you've been a coach, and what programs you've done.
Yeah.
I can't find that anywhere, and I've been searching this whole time.
Okay. I may have just posted it in my personally sponsored group, and I will share that in DFG.
Okay, because I feel like I've seen it, and I checked the Diamond group, and I didn't see it in there, but I could definitely be missing it.
Maybe you saw it on your feed somewhere.
That is totally possible as well.
I would love to find that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I came in late, and I am not sure, is it 10 positives about Beachbody or 10 positives about yourself?
Well, either would work, but 10 positives that have come into your life since you became a coach or since you became a challenger, since you implemented the Beachbody lifestyle into your life, like what's come out of it? These are 4 little topics that after I've been in business long enough, I see that that's kind of what they all roll up into, how Beachbody has changed someone's life. And when you share that enough, passionately, with enough belief, long enough, people are going to buy into that. And it can't be said enough. And I know I say it all the time, but you can do all the right things, all the things that are asked of you by your coach, by me, by all the guides and training. But if you don't believe that you are worth it and capable, then you're going to struggle. Okay? And as humans, we struggle. So my personal development is so highly recommended in this business. And if you're the praying kind, it's why prayer is so important. Because sometimes we feel like we don't have it in us, that we just can't do another day of it, or nobody's listening, or nobody wants me. You got to overcome those feelings of self-doubt. Not saying you can't ever have them, but you just can't live in them. We all have them. How long? The difference is how long you live in them. And sometimes they beat us down so hard we don't know if we can pull ourselves back up. That's where I've been. But you can embrace what you were supposed to learn. Learn it, grow, pass on the wisdom. I'm convinced that's why we go through trials, is so we can learn from it, grow, and then share our wisdom with the next generation or our peers because they can share it with the next generation. You know, it's just sharing, it's just passing along all the good that you have found and all the lessons that you've learned. That's like what life is, basically. It's a journey of self-evaluation, of learning and sharing. It's the people that don't want to share anything that usually lead pretty miserable lives. Be a river. Don't be a reservoir. Share everything you got. The good, the bad, the ugly, the successes. Anybody have any content questions?
I have a question just about Facebook settings in general. I've been talking to my friend Brandy about making my Facebook, right now it's set private, about making it to public to reach more people. But I'm really concerned with my 3 kids and keeping them protected. I'm a little bit of a weirdo about creepers having access to their pictures. So is there any way to make my post public but keep my family photos private?
I believe there is. I believe that you can select each post who you want to share it with.
Yeah, I tried that. I did that today. I made my post. It was like a Beachbody type post, and I clicked public. But then when I went back into my site, I got a random friend request from somebody I didn't know. So I checked my settings, and it changed all my settings to public. So I didn't know how that works, or if anybody has any thoughts on that, maybe to help me overcome that fear.
Well, if it's something that you're willing to overcome, I would suggest you overcome it. But then again, I'm not here to tell you how to set your settings. I believe that if you're going to walk with your children around in public, it's pretty much the same thing. I've never had anything but 100% adoration towards Soren from my people. But that's not to say that there's not some sicko out there with his pictures. I mean, God, I hope not. But, you know, it's one of those things. You live in fear or you expect all great things. And that's my 2 cents. Does anyone else have something?
I have something to share. So I actually have a friend who isn't a Beachbody coach, but she's very private about her family photos, and she created a Facebook group and invited everyone who she wants to share family photos with, and she just shares them in that group. And then her wall is other stuff that she wants to talk about. So that may be an option if you're wanting to share with family who isn't close by.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just have one little thing to say, and this is just a discussion, no right or wrongs here. Amongst all of this Beachbody posting, we also have other things that we post about. My family is one of them. I have chosen to share that. And when you are a mom and you share that, like, you attract other moms to you. You attract what you post about, bottom line. And Soren's kind of like a big part of us. He's a big part of why people come to me. Just the thought. Did any other moms have, did you have that fear and did you overcome it?
Yeah. And I also feel like if you're only sharing the Beachbody post as public, that's all that the other people are going to see, and they're not going to see the real you. They're not going to see your life. They're not going to see your family. They're not going to see your hobbies and everything else that makes you you. Like, we have 5 things we post about. Only 2 or 3 of them are Beachbody and fitness. Everything else is our family and our hobbies or everything else that we're interested in, and everybody wants to see everything. As far as my kids, they're there. I mean, like you said, if we're going to be out in public, somebody can take a picture in the mall and have it, like it can be anywhere. So it's hard. I mean, I just kind of keep it limited, like no more naked baby pictures, and stuff like that.
What I will say, if you guys are concerned with, the safety of your children, don't have your address or anything on Facebook. Make sure, that is something, if you're a parent, make sure that there's nothing attaching, they don't know where you live. So make sure you check your profile and no addresses or anything like that are attached to your page. I think that's important.
Also make sure any geolocation is turned off on your phone when
Correct.
GPS turned off on your phone when you're taking pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. It's just me and my son that live in an apartment, and I won't let anyone know that I don't know personally know what apartment complex. I won't take pictures outside the building because I don't want people to be able to recognize the building. And I won't tell people what kind of car I drive just for safety because I do have my profile public.
So there's some safeguarding techniques. Okay. I like that.
I will say once I was really, when I first went through, I think it was a 10-day to Emerald training back then, but I freaked out. I was like, I can't do that. Because at that time, some people know my story with my dad, but at that time I wasn't talking to him. So I didn't want to do that, even though I had him blocked on Facebook, like other people on his side of the family could see it. So that was what freaked me out. But now that I have, this week alone, I've had 2 challengers by Challenge Packs who are friends of friends who contacted me because their friend liked my post.
Yeah.
So that's a good, I guess, incentive to, go public. But, and so people can see who you are before when your friend requested them to. So, and I have 4 kids, so I totally understand being freaked out. So.
Thanks, y'all. Y'all made me feel better. I appreciate it.
Good. I'm sorry. I know there's no right or wrong, and it's tough. It was never a fear I had, but since I've been a coach, it's been a lot of people that have had that fear, and rightfully so. Things have gotten crazy in our world. I just posted that image in DFG. Any other questions?
Hey, Linz, what was on the 19th and 20th, Wednesday and Thursday? I don't know how I missed it.
Takeaway from personal development and your fitness journey.
Okay.
These are, I feel like I need to keep expounding on this. Guidelines. If you don't feel like you have content, go here. You don't have to hit all of them. Just get something up there.
Yeah, I like them. They're great ideas.
Thank you.
even if we mix them up. Because if we're all posting the same things every day, you know how silly it's going to look.
I love that. Yes. Change it up. It could have just as well been a list of things to post about, but having it on the calendar and you can mark it out, highlight it, did that one, and just, if you are doing some of this, you know that you're getting the content out there that needs to be put out there in order to brand yourself and attract people to you. Remember positive, remember light, remember inspiration, even when you're not feeling inspiring. I know I have those days. I mean, I don't think I posted but twice in the past like 4 or 5 days. Like, it was bad. I'm like, I don't got anything to say. I was feeling sad about things. I was feeling down, you know. That happens. Best thing to do is read a book and share something that spoke to you to lift your spirits, because it's going to speak to someone else. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I was getting ready to say the same exact thing. When I am just like in a funk and just feeling really uninspired just because I just don't feel good, I'll always either grab something from personal development or just search up quotes. I'm such a big quote person. And it's amazing how something that you didn't think of can impact someone else's life. I mean, and I always, leave quotation marks around it because it didn't come from me, but it still inspires so many people. So there's always something to post, even if you are feeling uninspired.
Love it. Thank you.
So I have a question. What do you think about taking, I have like a lot of pictures with people from Summit. So what do you think about taking those pictures and then grabbing that person's transformation story and sharing their story and their transformation? And then I thought it would be good, that I have like an actual picture with that person so that the people on my newsfeed see, oh, okay, there's other Beachbody people out here, and she actually knows this person who also got great success from using the same products. Is that good, or is that too much?
Yeah, that's good. That's great.
Okay.
Yeah. I always say that too. Like, just as soon as people realize that it's not just you thinking that Beachbody's cool, you're doing good. Because it's like, the same thing when, like, for so long I was the only one in DFG that I felt like got it, that was working. And it just took a couple other people that got it with me to bring some of the others around. Like, oh, it's not just Lindsay that thinks this is going to work, or it's not just Lindsay that's making this work. Other people are too. That's good. That's why it's so important to post pictures of you with your, teammates and at the events, because it's showing that more than one person is involved. I don't know how to say that, but like Danette Anderson, she saw a picture of us all wearing blue at Summit, and that spoke to her. I want to be one of those girls wearing a blue dress in a group picture at Summit. Luanna saw all of us in the white dresses at a photo shoot, and that spoke to her. Some people just want the friendships, right? That's why you can't post enough. You just can't post enough. Follow a top coach. Just go to a top coach. See how often they post. That's a good thing to do. Bonnie Engel. Go to her page. Girl doesn't stop posting. She posts so much, she makes everyone feel inadequate. There's like a phrase out there, freaking Bonnie. It's like hashtagged by now, because people are like, this girl's a machine. And she's climbing the ranks like no other because she doesn't stop posting. And I'm not saying we have to be like that. Please do not compare. A lot of it, keep in mind, Bonnie does not have children, and Bonnie has a lot of free time. Okay, so don't compare. But I'm just saying, when you think you're posting too much, look at Brittany Leggett. Climbed Beachbody super fast, and she never stopped posting. She's inviting. She's chalking up Beachbody. She's chalking up her team. PD. I mean, I'm telling you, it's all this stuff. It's all of it, just repeated over and over and over, consistently. So don't just take my word for it. Weigh your options. Look at other people's stuff. See what they're doing. See what's working for other people. Mash it all together. Spread it out. And then you do that. Do you. Make it your own. Okay? I just have the quote from like Tommy Boy in my head. Who knows what I'm talking about? You can get a good look at a ribeye by sticking your head up a cow's butt, but just take the butcher's word for it. That's funny. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for getting on. I hope that you found something of value and something that you're going to implement. As always, I'm rooting for you guys. We had like almost 100 people. I think 97 people tonight. That was like the most ever. I'm happy. All right. Okay. I love you guys. Anything else before we end all?